Now, if you've been following me from the beginning, some of this stuff is going to look familiar because I've posted it in a number of places. But really, overall, I thought this was a great opportunity to just kind of put a lot of the things together, a lot of things I've talked about, especially when it comes to, say, macros and some of the hacks. Now, there's a ton of tips in this, and I just kind of smashed everything together. Some of these were short, some of these were on Instagram. They were kind of all over the place, but now it's all kind of compacted into one video, and you can kind of see that I've talked a lot about protein being first, carbs kind of being our second source, and fats third, especially in a calorie deficit. That's how I prioritize them, and there's small little things you can read throughout each of these. And one of the fatal mistakes I did in the past was eliminating a macro, and so that's something you definitely don't want to do. You obviously want to bring them in balance, and when you're trying to get lean, fats is the first one we kind of cut, and I've talked about that just because it's so caloric and it's easier to kind of make this exchange for something else. So when you're looking to substitute, don't completely eliminate fats, just make sure to reduce them, and it really depends on your overall calorie goal. So at the end of the day, to lose weight, lose body fat, a calorie deficit is what we want, not so much the macros. We've talked about that. This is the performance side. So when you start pulling fats completely out, then you may notice some ill effects. And learning your overall macro ratios that kind of give you that best feel is going to take time. You just have to experiment with it, try a few different things, and then once you kind of get to where you're going in a positive direction, then you kind of know, hey, you can look at it in percentages and grams. It doesn't really matter. Overall, it's just about making sure that you feel good, making sure that you're making positive progress and moving towards your goals. So just keep at it, don't give up, and make sure, if something isn't working, then change it. That's what I always say. So one thing I wasn't able to do in the X-Forn episode was really get into this 0 calorie concept and the advantage. So I figured I'd use this as an opportunity to kind of catch up on that. So I've kind of talked about all these in a number of different ways, but here's all the videos I kind of made on them. And if they look amateur, it's because I was just learning how to do this. All of this was me kind of just starting out learning social media, how to take all this information I've learned over time and compiling it into a media format and then posting it. So yeah, it's not the best quality, but overall the information's there, the things that you need to help you. And the reason I put spices at the top is because if your food doesn't taste good, you're probably not going to eat it. So this is really the priority. And then next comes sauces. There generally is more calories in sauces, which is why I put it second. And it's something that, you're going to be using these. Otherwise your food can get, too dry. This really gives it, say, texture, flavor. I'm a big fan of all kinds of different sauces. Obviously hot sauce, you've probably seen that as a recurring theme. It's just huge for me, but there's sugar-free versions, fat-free versions. It's really going to depend on what you like, because I know for me, I don't mind all these ones with the artificial sweeteners, but some people don't like that taste, and it kind of can taste kind of weird. But there's a ton of options out there. Just find the ones that you like and use them as needed. So veggies are going to be big for me just because they give me that fullness factor, the volume of food, but not everybody likes veggies, so you don't have to have these, and that's why I ranked them a little bit lower, because not everybody's going to have a bunch of veggies like I do. But either way, they're going to give you micronutrients, which is really beneficial. And at the end of the day, what nobody really talks about is that these are essential for digestion and, say, fiber sources, because when you're eating a lot of protein, you need a poo, and that's what helps, is this stuff helps break that down. So if you don't have veggies, you might be finding constipation. It's something I've come across in the past. Now, this is the actual zero advantage because it's 0 calories, right? Or supposedly, well, they actually round it down, and your body can't process artificial sweeteners, let's just say, in terms of storing it as energy. And these get a bad name a lot of the time just because of, let's say, old research that is actually not correct anymore. And there's numerous sources of, say, artificial sweeteners. So just find the ones that you like, because they all kind of can taste a little bit different. Like, I don't like stevia so much, but there's one like monk fruit sweetener is a big one for me. But either way, just find things that are lower in calories that are going to save you and still give you that same experience when you're eating it, so that you enjoy the foods and get those things that you crave. For those still with me, thanks a lot for following along. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.
Peace out.
Way early in my training days, and as I was learning about fitness, you got to get that protein in right away. Make sure to get it within 30 minutes. Pound it down as fast as you can, right? It's been a long time since I've done that. I happened to come upon this. Oh, you got to get that, chicken and rice and vegetables, right? Not that there's anything wrong with this, but it was plain chicken, plain rice, just plain. There was something I read about in terms of post-recovery. You can put sugars, you can put whatever you want in, and it's gonna go straight into muscles. So what do? This has got no protein in it. It's probably not best. The way I do things now, this is gonna be my post-workout meal today. Version of a cheesecake, which is high in protein. It's gonna fill me up, so it's like I'm eating a meal. I'm kind of getting the dessert kind of taste. I have whey powder in this,
and it feels like just a meal. And believe it or not, it tastes pretty dang good. If you go look at these extreme forms, they were never good for me. You may do good with this, and that's fine. I'm just saying there's multiple different things and theories and ways to do things, and you don't have to stay inside that box.